The schedule, which is very important, there's a lot of timing issues in there. The qualification process, there will be a long period of activities to qualify for the final event. A little bit about the vehicles. My colleague here, Jeroen Ploeg, will tell more after lunch. Jeroen, good luck. The judging is not yet fully fixed. There are elements open, but how it's going to run draft plan, I'll present our lines of thought during the last 3 months, where we refined our ideas and made sure that we have all the small elements in the judging related to the challenge covered. Schedule and milestones. Month 5, 2009, we have the workshop here in Helmond, and I'm very pleased to see that there's so many of you here, and that there's already so many teams having vehicles and are preparing teams. Quarter 4, which is now already 8 to 9 of December 2009, we'll have a second workshop where we will present the draft rules, which are near finished. In March 2010, there will be the gcdc demonstration where we will release the rules, and we will have the formal opening of the subscription for the event. And then we plan to inform on the deadline will be quarter 2, the end of quarter 2 2010 for the subscription. So there is a need to be quickly in the subscription process, because then we immediately start after that with the qualification process, which we'll get into more detail after this slide. And then in the quarter 4, we will have the final, or the first big GCDC challenge, where the participants are going to face each other in a match how to be cooperative. So that's the contradictionary in the judging aspects, how to judge cooperation aspects in a match event. Qualification process, we will request, and a lot of it is similar as the documentation to the DARPA, because that was clearly done, and we've seen that it's been copied in other robotic and autonomous events before. We will require technical papers, team descriptions, and we will need a liability form, because we will have drivers in the cars, and safety is a main issue. The deadline, as mentioned, by quarter 2, confirm the participants that they submitted all the right paperwork and qualified for the qualifications. Have all the elements to enter, and then we will have quarter 4 2010 an online check of the communication protocol. Teams can already start implementing their communication protocol, and we will, as an organization, facilitate a means over the internet that teams from their home base can check their communication protocol with the system of the organization. And then in the quarter 1 of 2011, the organization will come with the roadside unit, which is our base communication system, to make sure that it also wirelessly works at the spot of the participants, and it will allow the organization to have a good view of the vehicle. We can do a vehicle inspection to make sure that the vehicle actually meets all the requirements, and we get an impression on how far the teams are. And besides the communication check, we can also do a check on the communication protocol and the interaction protocol right already in quarter 1 2011. This will help the teams to make sure that when they arrive here, that at least they can communicate with the infrastructure. And by quarter 3, we will request from the participants to send us a video showing their performance on their local test track, to make sure that the participants are all on track, and then we will have sufficient participants and sufficient quality at the actual event in quarter 4 2011. Is there already questions right now? That's good. So that's
Yeah,
clear.
I-
Yeah, you're allowed.
which is related to the fact that where I come from, it doesn't snow very often. Quarter 4, you're liable to get all sorts of very strange road conditions that certainly people back in Australia don't experience that often. I'm just curious about the timing, that's all.
You're right, but we have to be early quarter 4.
It depends also a little bit on the teams. If you have university teams, I also want to hear from them whether they would like to have an event in May or in June, because then we have much better weather right now, or whether they want to have it in the autumn period. So that's still a little bit open for suggestions.
But yes, you're right. Weather is an issue, and we do have unreliable weather in the Netherlands, but we never have a week of snow, especially not in October or November. Yet, with the climate change. Climate change, I don't know.
The gases out.
You were the one with the sensor in the car, was it?
Yeah.
Pay attention to the slides. The final event will be here. After Jan already pointed out the direction. I'm lost, so I'll point in the same direction. Is more there? Thank you. This is the map. You'll see the city of Eindhoven right here, and Helmond right here, so there's the stretch there. To confuse things, the two pictures are not the same because the A is here in Nuenen and the A is here in Helmond. So if you are lost, you're right. We're right now here. And we plan to have a full 1-week event for the GCDC challenge in 2011, because we will have a lot of activities going on the road to be sure that we have all competitors at the same level and give all the participants the time they need to show their capacities. Documentation. Every competition or challenge, especially when there is a large amount of prize money that can be won, we'll have a fierce competition, and with fierce competition people will find their ways to optimize their use of the regulations that are in place. I'll give a small anecdote. Internally in TNO we organized a robotic competition, and there was a U-shaped track, and people had to, and it was above the ground, about a half meter above the ground, and the small robots had to drive over this U-shape all the way around to get to the target, and not drop off. And the cliff was very difficult for them because it was a negative obstacle. And one of the teams read the regulations, and they built a robot vehicle with a bridge carrier. So they went to the edge, lowered their bridge, and went over the edge to the other side because they knew the size of the gap, and their bridge was long enough so they could go to the other side. So in your regulations you have to be very clear that what is the actual challenge and how people can solve, what room of solution that you will let them. And especially in cooperative driving and judging the participant individually, the regulations need to be very firm and very well defined. And that's a challenge by itself, but we're working hard on it, and we will need your support to make sure that we close all the gaps and that we have the right challenge at hand. So we'll have a description of the individual challenges, the methodology of the measurement, the performance for each of the individual challenges by the organization, so that you know what we will measuring and how we will judge per challenge, and how we will judge the overall winner for the GCDC, who actually gets the prize. Technical requirements will be very well defined for the vehicles and the vehicle subsystems. In the regulations, all the requested paperwork from the participants will be clearly defined. Regulation of vehicles, locations, teams, all the things that you need to know to participate.